Sometimes we fall so hard that we believe God no longer wants us. Sometimes our guilt screams louder than grace. Sometimes the shame of what we have done makes us think we are no longer worthy of love. But hear this clearly today. No matter how deep your mistake, no matter how far you ran, God's love is deeper, and His mercy travels faster than your sin. This is the story of the prodigal son, a story that proves you are loved even when you fall. There was a wealthy man with 2 sons. The younger son, bold, impatient, restless, walked up to his father one day and said, "Father, give me my share of the inheritance." It was like saying, "I wish you were dead already. I want your things, not you." But the father loved his son too much to force him to stay. So with no argument, no anger, he divided his property and gave his son freedom. The young man packed his bags, pride in his step, excitement in his eyes, dreams burning in his heart. He left home, far away from his father's love, chasing pleasure, chasing adventure, chasing emptiness disguised as happiness. At first, life seemed beautiful. He spent money like water, parties, drinks, friends everywhere. He believed he was living his best life. But my dear listener, money runs out, fake friends disappear, pleasure ends, and consequences begin. Soon, his pockets were empty, his clothes dirty, his body weak. A great famine came, and hunger became his closest companion. Desperate, humiliated, he found a job feeding pigs in a field. He was so hungry that he wished he could eat the pigs' food. Imagine the shame, from a prince in his father's house, to a slave among pigs. One day, sitting in the dirt, smelling like the animals around him, he began to think. He remembered home, he remembered love. He remembered that even the servants in his father's house lived better than this. And he said to himself, "I will arise and go back to my father. I will say to him, 'Father, I have sinned. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' Broken but hopeful, weak but moving, ashamed but returning, he began the long walk home. Every step was heavy with fear. Will my father reject me? Will he punish me? Does he still love me?" But what he didn't know was this. His father had been waiting every morning. He looked toward the road. Every night, he prayed for his son's safe return. Love kept his eyes open. Love kept his hope alive. Then one day, he saw a familiar shape in the distance, thin, tired, dirty, but still his child. And instantly, the father ran. He didn't walk. He didn't wait. He ran, arms open, tears falling, heart bursting with joy. He hugged his son tightly, ignoring the dirt, ignoring the smell, because love sees the heart, not the mess. The son tried to speak, "Father, I have sinned. I am not worthy." But the father didn't let him finish. He called the servants, "Bring the best robe," to cover his shame, "put a ring on his finger," to restore his authority, "bring sandals for his feet," because sons walk, slaves don't. "Prepare a feast. My son was dead, but now he lives. He was lost, but now he is found." There was celebration in the house. Joy overflowed. Grace won. Love triumphed. And that is the heart of God for you. Maybe you've run far from God. Maybe you feel too dirty, too broken, too guilty to come back. Maybe people have judged you, abandoned you, labeled you a failure. But listen to me, God still calls you his child. You may think your story is ruined, but God says, "Come home, I can restore everything." You may think, "I have sinned too much." But God says, "My mercy is bigger than your mistakes." You may think, "I'm no longer worthy." But God says, "My love is what makes you worthy." Your Father in heaven is not waiting to punish you. He is waiting to run toward you, to embrace you, to restore you, to celebrate you, just like the prodigal son. You can always return. Grace is still open. Mercy is still calling. Home is still waiting. My friend, don't let your past keep you from God's arms. He still loves you, even when you fall, even when you doubt, even when you make mistakes. If this story touched your heart today, if you believe in God's unstoppable love, then don't leave without taking action. Subscribe, follow, share this message, because every week we will bring you more biblical stories of love, mercy, and hope, stories that remind you that you matter to God, stories that bring healing, restoration, and faith. Press that subscribe button so you don't miss the next story of God's love for humanity. Thank you for watching. And remember, no matter how far you go, God is already running toward you. See you in the next story.